Okay, well, it would appear that we have another instance of slop on the timeline. Now, if you're not aware, and if you're off social media, which is probably a blessing for you, at least on Twitter, there has been a bit of an influx lately of Studio Ghibli art. And I put art in very, very loose quotations. Because basically, what ended up happening is that OpenAI did a bit of an update where what ended up happening is that, well, you can now stylize your art a bit differently. I believe that's what the update actually is. And that's essentially what happened here. And so naturally, because the internet is the internet, people kind of went wild with the whole concept of it. So basically the latest trend, of course, is of course using Ghibli films. Now, for the record, I actually really enjoy Ghibli films, okay? My name actually literally comes from the main character from Princess Mononoke, so take it as you will. That is my personal favorite film that's ever been made in that studio. I know a lot of people like Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. That's actually a really good one too. Or what's another one? My also one favorite one is a Nausicaa, The Valley of the Winds. Anyways, point is, I tend to like this stuff a lot. I even have the DVD case for Princess Mononoke. I don't have it on me because it's in a box somewhere, and I'm not gonna go fetch it for a YouTube video. But here's an image of what this box roughly looks like. At least going off my memory, but yeah. Anyways, point is, I'm a very big fan of the studio. Okay, I haven't watched any of the later films, just because I just haven't got around to it. There's like what the Boy and the Heron. There's what not Pocoroso. There's like what Grave of the Fireflies, something like that. Actually, no, I watched that one. Point is, I'm not up to date on all my Ghibli films. But anyways, the point is, Twitter went and he was kind of wild with it. So I kind of want to take a look at some of these because, um, it's kind of insane what some people did with some of these, and you're gonna understand why we're gonna be laughing together in some of these ones. And I'm gonna show you just live how it works, just in case you're wondering. I mean, you could do it yourself, but I just like to show stuff live because this is an interactive channel. Now, moving along. So I have a little bit of article that kind of goes through everything that is talked about here. So let's get right into it. So it says here. From meme madness to copyright concerns, the release of OpenAI's new image generator this week has been nothing short of dramatic. Soon after images for ChatGPT was unveiled on Tuesday, an ex-user said OpenAI's for tool generated a sexy man, but wouldn't create sexy women. That caught the attention of OpenAI's chief, Sam Altman, who blamed a bug and promised a fix. Then came the tsunami of images generated in this distinctive style of the renowned Japanese animation house Studio Ghibli. Ex-users flooded the platform with Ghibli-fied versions of their own photos, popular memes, public figures such as President Donald Trump, and scenes from films including The Wolf of Wall Street. And even Sam Altman joined in on the hype and swapped out his profile picture with a Ghibli-style photo of himself. The White House's official X account jumped on the bandwagon too and shared a Ghibli-fied photo of a woman arrested by ICE for illegally entering the U.S. So in case you're wondering how insane it is, literally the White House is also jumping on this bandwagon, I guess to see if it's hip or something. And here you have literally Sam Altman, who is of course the founder of OpenAI, and you have here he says, well, his profile picture of I guess that's him in the Ghiblified or Ghiblified. And you have the GPT-4 update is good. New Chat GPT-4 update particularly good at coding, instruction following, and freedom. Yeah, total freedom, by right. Just just keep that in mind. So, what else do we have here in terms of that? Now, of course, you have the Ghibli tsunami. And at first, it seemed like a lighthearted moment of things being reimagined through a Ghibli lens until things took a darker turn. OpenAI users Ghibli-fied images of historic events including JFK's assassination, the 9/11 attacks, and World War II. OpenAI said Wednesday that it had started blocking requests for Ghibli-style images and that it was taking a conservative approach by refusing user attempts to create images in the likeness of a living artist. An OpenAI spokesperson told Business Insider on Wednesday night that it is still allowed to users to generate images in broader studio styles. Savvy users found workarounds. BI's Pranav Dixit tried out the tool on Thursday using the paid version and found it would still generate several images into Ghibli style. OpenAI then decided to limit the number of images users of its free tier model could generate a day. Altman joked on X that OpenAI servers were melting from the surge in demand. It now appears the free version of ChatGPT is refusing image requests entirely, citing copyright rules. So really looking at this, you really understand that a lot of people just went wild with it. Of course, as soon as every time something new gets announced, people will then take it to the next level. And so it's just kind of insane that, Studio Ghibli is kind of the latest, I guess you can say, victim or latest trend in that. And of course, as you know, AI models, as I've said many times on this channel, they just keep evolving over and over and over again. And the fact that it can basically copy down the style of Studio Ghibli, which by hand taking animation would take you months, it does it in a few minutes. So that's how insane it is. But remember, AI is always trained off stuff that's existing. So it gets this information based off of what's already out there. So people have probably siphoned many different Ghibli films throughout OpenAI or ChatGPT or DeepSeek, whatever AI model you're using, or Grok, and then people are just going over and over and over and over and over again. So I just want to review a couple of memes before I show you guys live what it can do, and some of these are genuinely insane. So we'll go to too much, but so the first one I have here is, of course, is that meme where it's like about dude is getting distracted by another girl, and she's looking at it. But see, the problem with this one is that he's not checking her out. He's looking like, oh man, I've been caught. So it's kind of crazy that it kind of turned into that. Instead of looking at checking her out, he's like, nah, he's ashamed of himself, which I suppose it is. He should be. And the next one here is one where someone named Adam Brandon says, I'm having too much fun with these. Any idea? So it's just Donald Trump, I believe, in the Congress office. I don't remember what this particular moment was. I'm trying to remember, but it's kind of crazy how I can literally look at this and be like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy to think about. Man, actual brain one. And by the way, this was on my timeline for like a while, and then someone else I know also showed me more of these, and so that's where we got the ideas, because it's genuinely kind of insane how it works. Now, of course, the next one we have here is is the Burger King guy on the airplane. Let me jog your memory real quick.
Kick that bitch off the plane!
Sir, please you need to stop. There are children. Please stop. Stop. Hey, that's not necessary.
Take your stuff and get out of my seat, please!
We will take care of
Oh man. Yeah. That's Whew. I forgot. I haven't seen that meme in a while, but yeah, that's the Burger King guy, in case you haven't noticed. But if you haven't noticed, also on his crown, it's not actually labeled Burger King properly. It looks like Riag. So, looks like AI still has some work to do. That one genuinely killed me yesterday. And then now our next one is... oh man, this was tough. Okay, so, you remember the Jew tunnels back in last year, January? Well, someone had the bright idea to put those in Studio Ghibli. And now, somebody put it in there, and now you got the guy coming out of the tunnels. Oh my god. It has it down to the mannerisms, because it's crazy, because I remember when it first came out. Oh man, when I saw a guy in a full suit come out of a tunnel, I could not understand. So the fact that I'm reliving that memory is gonna kill me. Man. Okay. And sorry. Man. Oh, that one kills me. And now the final one we have here is, of course, the infamous OF model that oh god, sorry, give me a second. That apparently did 1,000 dudes in a day. I have a lot of questions about that, but sadly, or more like gratefully, I didn't want the answer to it, because it's pretty nasty. And so yeah, like I was telling y'all, people get extremely creative with these AIs, and it's actually crazy. And there's like many more that I didn't show y'all, but I was just showing y'all a few of them just to like, you know, give you an idea of how insane it gets. And by the way, there's some worse ones I did not show you. These are the more on the tame side. But if you want to go and curse yourself, feel free to do so. But I will not entertain that. So anyways, so now we're actually going to move on to a bit of a live demo of how efficient it actually is, just because, you know, I do like to give you guys something to look at. And so here we have, well, I decided I couldn't figure out who I wanted to use live, but I said, you know what, just use the completionist, okay? I mean, you know, I haven't heard from him in a while, okay? We checked at him about a year ago. He wasn't doing so hot. Actually, from what I've heard as well, he's actually doing much worse even now. So, take it as you will. And so, naturally, we're doing a live demo. So, I literally said, can you get this scammer into the Studio Ghibli style? And so, while this video is very much sped up because it does take quite a bit to get going, you can see here it's analyzing his picture. It's literally rendering it in real time what it looks like. And when we get to the end, it actually has the same sweater, his hairstyle, and even like his beard. It has it down to that exact art style. Now, I will say, there are some aspects about it that are actually still a bit rough. Especially if you actually look at even older Ghibli films, you'll see that there's actually quite a level of polish that is, you know, inside, or at least that is noticed. At least if you understand animation, you'll understand what I mean. But so these are still rough, but it's still kind of insane how somebody, or at least some people, can just take an art style and just replicate it quickly. And so now you might be asking the big question, what are the ethical concerns about this, you know, whole product, okay? So, I have two opinions about this, okay? On one hand, okay, what I think is that, just that I kind of find it very entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, some of these memes were brain rot as hell. They were genuinely pretty funny. So I kind of like the idea that you can meme this, but should you is another question. And so, to my knowledge, I don't know if an art style particularly is patented. I don't remember entirely. But for instance, the parts where we might get in some unethical areas is like, say, for example, somebody makes like an AI video with this style, and then it's like, oh no, Studio Ghibli didn't make it, it was an AI. So what I always say is that when it comes to AI products, there should be proper protections in place, just because it makes the most sense to have those protections. To me, it's like it's common sense. So if I see people, or I see Studio Ghibli starting to slap people with certain strikes or whatever, or start taking stuff down, I will not be entirely surprised. But while I do like the stuff, sadly, because people will go too far, I say what should happen is that people should take some regulations should be put in place just to don't limit the stuff with the AI. Because, you know, people are going to maybe start selling an NFT or something, or sell a new crypto coin with this Ghibli art style or something. So I think people like using the art style to like use parodies and stuff, that's perfectly fine, okay? I'm not going to be too harsh on it. It's when you start monetizing it, that's where I'm raising some concerns. So outside of that, yeah, that's kind of it. Like, Studio Ghibli style is pretty interesting to look at. I like these films, so seeing memes of it just makes it funnier for me. But I can see where people are concerned. So yeah, as long as nothing's being monetized, that's really, really draw the line. Because when it comes to AI slop content, I always draw the line at monetization. Like, literally last time we looked at AI slop, like, in depth, was people using it to just get AdSense and basically siphon out ad revenue for themselves. But here, at least with your average Twitter user, at least I guess unless they have the blue check mark, they're not really making money off of it. But regardless, yeah, as long as it's not monetized, that's where I draw the line. And it's not like you're making an AI and you're siphoning the stuff over and over and over again. No, if people are selling it, of course, yeah, get rid of it. You know, they're gonna take their action lawsuits or whatever. But anyways. Yeah, so this video was a bit more of a fun one, but it's still kind of crazy to me how far AI keeps evolving, and it keeps going like over and over and over again, which is genuinely mind-boggling to me. And so I'm going to be curious where it goes. We're going to keep looking at AI as we keep going on to this channel, but yeah. So if you enjoyed this type of video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my socials down in the description below. But that's it. See ya.